I welcome you all to the final session of the National Webinar Series on Innovations in English Language Teaching, Trends and Practices, conducted by the PG Department of English, Sahrdaya College of Advanced Studies, Kodagara, Kerala. We had two successful sessions with Dr. J. John Shager, Associate Professor and Head Research Department of English, the American College, Madurai, Tamil Nadu, St. Thomas College, Autonomous, Thrissur. On 25th April, Dr. John Shager deliberated at length on the topic Method of Learning English as a Second Language and Assessment. Section was a huge success with 83 attendees. On 26th April, Dr. Biju NJ clarified the topic A Paradigm Shift in Teaching of English Language and Literature. The session was a success with 93 attendees. And today, we have the resource person, Dr. Soumya KN, Head of the Department of English, Sadanam Kumaran College, Pattirupala, Palakkad, Kerala, for handling the session. It's a great pleasure to welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Also, I welcome every participant attend this session. Let me take this opportunity to introduce our resource, Dr. Soumya KN. Dr. Soumya's broad area of research is the blended method. ALT is her passion. She has to her credit several research publications. Dr. Soumya's topic for the evening is Scope of Technology in English Language Teaching and Learning. Once again, welcome Soumya, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Anu, for the introduction. First of all, I would like to congratulate Department of English of Kodagara Sahrdaya College for arranging such a webinar. And I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Father Dr. Davis Tenganiadan, Executive Director, Dr. Matthew Paul Ukan, Principal, Dr. Sanil Raj, Head of the Department of English, and the program conveners, Sheena Sarawini, Assistant Professor, and the Joint Convener, Maria Joshi, who are the Assistant Professors in the Department of English, and the Student Convener, Christina Biju. So I would like to thank all of you to giving me such an opportunity. So shall I begin the session?
Sure.
Is it visible, the slide?
No, it's not visible.
Is it visible now?
Yes, it is.
Okay. My topic for today is scope of technology in English language teaching and learning. So before starting the session, I would like to thank Dr. Viju sir, yesterday's resource person, for giving a wonderful introduction to the topic, because sir has covered almost all the relevant areas related to ICT and technology in English language teaching. So thank you, Viju sir. So today, first we'll look into what is the scope of technology, or why we are making use of technology in teaching and learning process very much. So, introduction of technology has influenced numerous phases of life, and it is very much evident in the field of teaching also. So, why we are depending on teaching and learning is because the main reason behind that is quick and easy access to information, and advancement of technology has offered immeasurable access to information, and it made teaching and learning process more easier and comfortable. So this is the main reason why we are depending on technology for teaching and learning. So, educational technology, that term includes the development, application, and evaluations of systems, techniques, and aids in the teaching and learning process. And technology helps to overcome the constraints of time and space. So, these are the basic aspects covered in educational technology. Now we will look into what is the background of ELT, that means English language teaching in India. So basically, English language teaching in India is the aftermath of post-colonialism. And English education in India started after the stepping of English East India Company, and the Christian missionaries had played major role in spreading English education all over India. And more than that, UNO has recognized English as one of the major six official languages of Commonwealth countries. And it is the language of trade and commerce and of international politics also. Okay, now we will look into why we are depending on, or why we are giving more stress to English education. We all have a different purpose or an aim behind learning a new language. So nowadays, rather than just learning a language to enhance our knowledge, many people learn English for some specific purpose. That's why all these terms are very much popular. That means ESP. It can be considered as English for specific purpose or English for special purpose, and EAP, that is English for academic purpose, and EST, that means English for science and technology. So various people learn English language for different purpose, and based on their purpose, now it is very much streamlined or narrowed down based on their needs. Now we will consider different methods. Different methods are there to learn any language or any thing. If we are learning, we can adopt from the traditional period or from the ancient period onwards. Teachers have adopted different methods and approaches to teach something. So the popular methods behind English language teaching are grammar translation method, direct method, audiolingualism, total physical response, community language teaching, and eclecticism. So all these methods, I hope it is very clear. All these methods are known to you people. If any clarification is needed, or if you want to add any of the participants, if you want to add something, please don't mind to interfere. So the term eclecticism is basically the mixing up of different methods. So if a teacher feels that a single method is not sufficient to teach the language, we can mix up different methods. So that's what is known as eclecticism or eclectic method. So now we will move on to the specific today's topic, that is technology in learning. So initially, when technology was introducing in learning, it was through OHP, that is overhead projector and television and radio. So these were the common technical elements or technical aids which used in teaching and learning process. Then came internet, and with the coming up of internet, technology in teaching and learning became more evident or more prevalent. Okay, so now we will look into the term ICT. As we all know that ICT is information and communication technology, and introduction of information technology was a landmark in the field of education, and internet offered learning materials 24 hours a day across the globe, and it helped to bridge the gap between rural and urban division. So students or teachers don't have to depend on or they don't have to bother about the constraints of time and space. If you are free to learn something at night, then they can very well opt that option. So that is the main advantage of internet.
Dr.
Now we,
Soumya, let
yes,
me interrupt you. Some of the
yeah.
participants have notified that the slide is not moving. Some have notified.
But for me, it's changing. And now I'm in the fourth slide.
Yeah, now we can see. Yes, now it's clear. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll come back. Now we will look into two terminologies, that is call and mall. Call is computer assisted language learning. And when we consider an example for this call, language lab can be considered as an example. With the help of computer, we learn the four skills in language lab. So language lab can be considered as an example for this computer assisted language learning. And MAL is mobile assisted language learning. For that, we can consider different mobile applications which on which we depend on to learn a language. For example, we all download and we all make use of online or offline dictionary application. So rather than depending on a printed hard copy dictionary, we all tend to use the soft copy which we have downloaded in the mobile phones. So MAL is basically mobile assisted language learning. And the different chat forums or different online forums which we make use for learning language purpose, all that come under either this call or mall. So as nowadays, the younger generation spend more time on computer, mobile, social networking sites, and other online services, and they're very much comfortable with digital media. We can consider this call and mall for teaching and learning English language. So, as we have discussed the nuances of technology in learning, now I would like to introduce what is blended learning. So from the term itself, it is very clear. Blend. Blend means mixing up of something. So basically, blended learning is a fusion of two learning methods. And the most common components in blended learning will be face-to-face classroom teaching and online teaching. So if a teacher is sharing materials or taking classes through online and offline, that can be considered as a blended learning method. These are the common components of a blended learning method, and it helps to overcome the limitations of time and space. So if a paper in a syllabus or in a course, if a certain paper has a limited time period, the teacher can take up the other assignments or any other aspects through online, and the evaluation process also can be done through online. So in that way the teacher can manage the time allotted. Okay, so in the blended learning there are two aspects, that is synchronous method and asynchronous method. So synchronous method is basically if the teacher and the learner is online at a time, that can be considered as synchronous. Both will be simultaneously online. So, for example, if they are making use of any chat forms, then that can be considered as synchronous method. And asynchronous is both will be depending on technology, but both don't have to be online at the same time. For example, if a student is submitting an assignment through email, that is, the student has made use of technology, but not both of them. There is no necessity or there is no compulsion that both of them have to be online at a time. So if that learning process is happening in this way, that can be considered as asynchronous. So these are the two aspects in blended learning, that is synchronous and asynchronous. And why we are depending on, or nowadays why many institutions have opting blended learning, or many students prefer blended learning. So why they prefer online learning is, as I mentioned earlier, um, the student don't have to depend on the time, or as per their convenience they can fix up the time for learning process. And this the same freedom is getting for the teacher also. Whenever the teacher feels free, the teacher can upload the materials or can do the evaluation process. All that thing all can done or can be done in their own comfort level. So this is the main advantage. And we all have faced, or we have all have witnessed the pandemic situation. So during the pandemic situation, even in school education was carried out in online mode. And though there were difficulties in the initial period, both learners and instructors could accommodate the new method effectively. Within a time of 6 months, or maybe shorter than that, both learners and teachers of even school level, they could very well adopt with online classes, and they all switched to smart classrooms. And even when the situation was under control, or as now we are back to normal, we make use of the possibilities of online teaching mode, or more accurately, many institutions have adopted blended method. That means combining. Many institutions nowadays are combining their classes through online and offline. Still, online classes are going on in many institutions, especially for evening batches or Sunday batches. Classes are going on through online mode. So these are the aspects of blended learning. I hope it's clear. So, as my today's topic is about teaching and learning, we will look into what are the teaching objectives. That means I hope that there are teachers also in this are also attending this webinar. So first we'll consider what are the teaching objectives. So basically, teaching is like a communication. Teaching is also a communication process. So when we consider teaching, we say that it is a communication, and in a communication, there will be a sender, a message, and a channel and receiver, and the receiver has to give feedback to the sender. So it is a cyclic process. The feedback should reach the center, then only the center can recognize whether the communication was effective or not. Similar to this, a teacher, before starting the teaching process, the teacher has to do certain preparation, and the teacher has to take up certain things. Okay, so we will step by step, we will look into that. The first thing is setting course objectives. The teacher should have a clear understanding or have a clear knowledge about why we are taking up this course, why we are delivering this course to student. So that is the first thing. And the next, once this objectives, once this course objective was set, next thing is to select the media and tools. So based on different groups, so teacher means from the primary level to the higher education level, teaching process is happening everywhere. So the teacher should have a clear knowledge what is our target group, who all are our target group, and why we are conducting this course to them. So based on or considering all these aspects, teacher has to select the tool to implement the course, and what should be the media for implementation. So the teacher, after setting the course objective, the teacher has to make a selection of both media and tool. And then the next step is instructional formulating instructional strategies and techniques. So those who have done B.Ed or other educational courses, diploma courses or graduation courses, they will very well know that we will learn, or we used to learn different techniques to implement our subjects or our course elements. So the teacher has to clearly formulate different strategies. Then once this preparation level, all these the first three steps are the teacher has to do all these steps before entering the class. That means this is preparation before the class. So once the teacher is prepared, the next stage is implementation. That means taking the class directly in the classroom or through online, whatever may be the mode, whether it's online or offline. The next level is implementation. So once the topic is implemented, or once the course is implemented, the next step is to do evaluation. So we all know that evaluation can be done through different ways. It can be written examination, it can be an interactive session, it can be a quiz, or whatever may be the method. The evaluation process has to be done for sure. And after evaluation, the teacher has to get the feedback. So the getting feedback is very much important. Why? Because only from the feedback the teacher can understand or teacher can realize whether the class was effective or not, or in what all areas do we have to develop, or what all areas we have to stress. All that things we will come to know only through feedback. So, like teacher, learner is also an important part, or it's a complementing to each other. This teaching and learning process are complementary to each other. So now we will consider what are the learning objectives, even if it's a language learning or whatever other learning process. Why we learn something? So the basic aspect behind learning something will be to gain knowledge. So that is the basic purpose. And once suppose we are into a profession or we are into a career, we may have to achieve more career goals, or we may have to get promotion. So all different career objectives will be there. So either it will be to gain knowledge or to accomplish career objectives. And there are certain other people uh, just for social status, they may not have any genuine interest on the subject. For just for social status also, people learn different courses. So these are the aspects regarding teaching and learning. So as today's topic is based on technology, now we will look into different online platforms or different online learning websites which we can make use for online learning. So first, I would like to introduce Moodle. Okay, so Moodle is basically a free open source learning management system, and it is very much like a classroom. Those who want to do online teaching, they can very well make use of this platform, Moodle platform, because this I made use for, or I was using this Moodle platform during my research program. So this is very much like a classroom. There are options to upload your modules and organize the students into different groups. You can conduct quiz there. Students can upload their assignments, and grading system is also there. So the top scoring students can be given badges, and you can design the badge. So many attractive options are there in this Moodle. So those who want to do online teaching, please look into this website, Moodle. So that's about Moodle. Now, I would like to introduce another term, that is MOOC. So, MOOC is an abbreviation for Massive Open Online Courses. So, I hope that this term is also very much popular, and you are aware of this term. And three types of activities are usually conducted in MOOC. That means direct presentation of information, that is delivering lecture or video, delivering learning content through lecture or video. And the second activity will be like interactive exploration of the material. That means, as I mentioned earlier, in Moodle there are chat forms are there, or interactive groups are there. In MOOC also different interactive groups are there, as in the form of discussion board. And third one is assessment. That is, it can be through the form of exam or quiz. So based on instructor and the learners, we can design how we want to analyze our learners. So basically, Moodle is an extension of MOOC. So all these learning platform come under the platform MOOC, that is Massive Open Online Courses. So now I'll introduce certain online forums which you can depend on uh, for learning. So before that, I'll share one of my experiences because some 9 years back in 2014, I have done a course in Coursera. That means critical thinking and creative writing. So when I was doing that course in Coursera, it was a new platform and it was not so popular among students. But I think now almost everyone knows about this platform. And what is the advantage of these online learning websites are that they offer very updated courses and very popular courses, and that also by renowned universities like MIT, Harvard University, and the universities of Toronto and Boston. So suppose if you're doing a course in BA English or Masters in English, and you want to update your knowledge or you want to take up some new course, you can very well opt any of these learning websites. They offer numerous courses, and some courses will be free, and there are paid courses are also there. So if you are feeling like joining any courses, please look into these websites. And after some graduation or post graduation, before entering into another field, if you want to give a try whether this field will be suitable for me, or whether a career in this field is a will be an advantage for me. If you want to give a try, please do any of the courses related to that particular field of profession, so you can experience yourself whether that is suitable for you or not. So for these two purposes, you can very well make use of these online learning platforms. Okay, so now we will come back to this edX. edX is one of such online learning platform which offers numerous online courses, and the courses are related to medicine, engineering, arts, psychology, sociology. The fields are very different. So according to your area of interest, you can very well opt the course. And if the concerned university will provide you a certificate also. Many of the corporate companies and many of the institutions are accepting these MOOC courses, so you can very well go along with that. So EDX is one such platform. And the next platform like EDX, VisIQ is another platform. So this is the screenshot of the front page or the home site of this VisIQ. So from there itself, you can know they will give you a trial. So if you want to give a try, you can very well go for the trial options. And in the home page itself, they have given the features, what are the features, and you can request for a demo. So all necessary features are there. And another website is Coursera. Like EDX and VisIQ, Coursera also offers various courses related to various fields. So Coursera also provides courses by Harvard University or the world renowned universities. So for example, in Coursera, two courses are there related to English. That is English for Career Development by University of Pennsylvania and Business English Skills by University of Washington. So suppose you are doing a master's or a bachelor's degree in English and you want to try whether this business skill or something related to that is suitable for you, or if you want to go higher courses, before that you can join some short term courses. So that also they will tell you initially itself what is the duration of the course and how much assignments you have to do, how much video lectures will be there, how much assignments will be there, how much lectures will be there. All course details will be given to you, and the fees also. If you are opting for a paid course, they will explain you the fee structure also. So after going through all the brochures, you can decide whether you want to join or not. And in EDX also, there was a course, Higher Education Teaching Certificate by Harvard University. So all these are not only for students. If the teacher also wants to upgrade their skills, or like a refresher course, or like FDP, Faculty Development Program, if you want to update yourself, you can opt any of the courses in these websites, and they will update you also. Once you are looking for a course, uh, they will update you, they will send you a mail, this course will start on this month and this will be the fee structure, all the relevant details they will give you. So these are the three basic online learning websites, that is edX, VisIQ and Coursera. Okay, so now we will look into the job opportunities. So during ancient time, if you are taking up a master's in English or a bachelor's in English, the main option for you is to become an English teacher. That is the so-called job opportunity for English graduates. But now the LM has changed, and there are various multiple opportunities for English students. For example, you can become a language trainer, because many corporates are hiring English postgraduates as language trainers, as they have to communicate with clients across the globe. They need people who are fluent in English. All the four skills, that means listening, speaking, reading, and writing. So opportunities are there. Plenty of opportunities are there for English postgraduates in corporate field also. Another opportunity is as documentation writer, or as soft skill trainer, because as I mentioned, or like in corporates or in institutions, in hospitality management field, everywhere soft skill training is happening. So if you are a good communicator and if you know how to train others, then you can very well opt this option as soft skill trainer. And editor, as editor, content editor or copywriter in the field of media, journalism, translator, transcriptionist. And now recently a trend is there, that is starting a YouTube channel. So in YouTube channel also, most of the renowned YouTube channel, they depend on people who have good fluency over language to edit their content and modulate their presentation, all the things. Like a trainer, they are also hiring, YouTubers are also hiring people. So there also job opportunities are there. So based on your area of interest, you don't have to stick on to teaching profession alone. you can find other options also. So, I was discussing on the technology and the effect of technology in teaching and learning process. So, I would like to introduce SWAYAM and NPTEL also, because this SWAYAM and NPTEL may be familiar to many of you. SWAYAM is run by UGC and NPTEL by AICT. Swayam offers many courses for UG and PG students. And if you are getting into, or if you are logging into Swayam or NPTEL, there will be plenty of courses, and the classes are handled by UGC professors or professors from IIT or IAM or other renowned university. So please look into SWAYAM and NPTEL also. And before concluding the session, I would like to stress on two or three aspects. That is, for us, English is not mother tongue. English is second language. And if we have to develop a second language, regular practice is necessary, and we have to stress on this aspect. That means, like a habit formation, we have to practice regularly, then only we can keep the fluency in this language. And do explore possibilities. Don't narrow down your career, not don't narrow down your education. You have to find out, or you have to explore your learning opportunities and possibilities. And please do extend your career goals also. So I hope it was clear. So I wish you all the very best for the students. Please extend your education, and for teachers, extend your career goals. Thank you.
That was indeed a good presentation, highly informative. So, dear participants, if you have any questions, kindly post the same in the chat. Okay, so by the time questions pop up, let me uh, place one of mine. How far do you think is blended learning effective in our conventional curriculum with its even more conventional evaluation scheme?
Okay, thank you for the question. So that's what I was talking about. During the pandemic period, we all were afraid how we will manage this online session, or how students can adopt this learning method. But very well, or very effectively, rather I should say, it was a successful method, online learning. So as it was successful, we still make use of Google Classroom. We still make use of other chat forms. At least we make use of WhatsApp or email also for sharing materials. Nowadays also we are depending on all these technology. So I should say that blended learning is very much effective, because every method has its own limitation and constraints. No method is erroneous. So by blending two methods, we can minimize the limitations. At the same time, we can explore the most popular the advantages of the two methods. So that is the main advantage of blended method.
Thank you. Dear participants, if you have any questions, kindly post in the chat. Or in case you would like to ask the question directly, kindly unmute yourself.
Good evening, ma'am. Can you hear me? Soumya,
Yes,
ma'am, can you hear me? Yeah.
yes.
My question here is not it's not a question as such. I wanted to know your experience of using Moodle in teaching. I believe you've been teaching English, that is communication, as well as you've been teaching literature. So, how well can you use Moodle in teaching literature?
Okay. Thank you for the question. So basically, I depended on Moodle during my research. And for my research, the area of students or the samples were engineering students. So for them, it was very easy because as engineering students will be very much aware of technology and all these learning strategies, it was easy for me to teach for them. And regarding literature also, only the initial struggle will be there as we all faced during the pandemic period. The initial struggle only will be there because it is very much easy, like a Google Classroom. So you can upload video, audio, or you can upload PDF or Word file, whatever may be the format. You can very easily upload the file, and there are options to manage the view. That means if you want that only limited number of students should see that content, you can very well do that. So there are plenty of options. So I would say Moodle is an effective tool for teaching, even for literature also. I hope it's clear.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank
Now we have another question from Mr. Satish.
Yes.
He says, could you please throw some light on the effect of the latest chat GPT technology in creating new job opportunities for English students?
Okay, that's a good question actually, because many of my colleagues or many of my friends were making use of this chat GPT. But I want to say that it's very effective tool because the article I read, some of the articles I read, that was very marvelous articles created by ChatGPT. You just have to enter the keywords and you will get the result. So that is very much effective. But I was working in an online firm also. There also, we will very much uh, specify that you don't depend on any artificial intelligence form to create your content. You can just get an overall idea by making use of ChatGPT or any other AI format. But if you are making use of any AI, that is not ultimately your product. That is an AI product. So you can depend on AI just to get a guideline, but make sure that whatever you are delivering, the output should be yours. That authenticity should be there.
Okay, Mr. Satish, I hope your question has been answered.
Definitely, ma'am. Thank you so much.
And Satish, I would like to thank you also because I left to mention about ChatGPT also. All of you go through that ChatGPT also because it's a wonderful application. It helps you to improve your writing skill actually, but don't depend on it much if you are into a job. Make sure that whatever content you are creating, that should be your own.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Satish.
Any more questions? We still have time to
Hi,
take
ma'am.
a
I have
couple.
a question. Soumya, ma'am.
Yes, yes, yes.
I just want to know whether it is possible to do free courses on Coursera and edX through their apps from the Play Store. Because earlier I had done courses on Coursera, but is it possible now? Do they provide free courses now? Or can you mention any other platforms which provide free courses?
Uh, as per my knowledge, once they will give you the trial version. That means from one ID, once you can create a demo site, and in Moodle also the same option is there. That means the primary only when you are logging into that, you can opt for free courses. But several times, I don't think it's not possible. So you have to pay and do the course. As per my knowledge, that is the thing.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Is there any other platforms available other than Coursera?
There are, I don't remember now, but make sure that whatever you can just browse it, the courses, MOOC, in online forms, because MOOC is the major platform. So make sure that whenever you are doing some course, it is provided by any renowned university, and just inquire or make sure that the certificate is valid, because that
Okay.
certificate should be valid. Then only there is a point in doing that online course. So before joining any course, make sure of these aspects.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Sandhya George, for the question. We can take up one more. Anyone would like to either ask or post in the chat? It seems no further questions from the participants. I would also like to alert the participants a feedback form come the certificate form, one and the same. The link has been posted in the chat box. Kindly give your response. Now we have reached the concluding part of the 3-day national webinar series organized by PG Department of English of Sahrdaya College of Advanced Studies, Kottagara, Kerala. Now I invite Abhay Rajendran Menon of first year MA English to offer words of gratitude. Over to you, Abhay. Abhay, you're not audible.
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes. Abhay, shall I take up the responsibility from my end?
Sorry, I think Abhay is on mute.
He is. So as convener of the webinar series, I take up the wonderful task of proposing the vote of thanks. Respected resource person, Dr. Soumya K.N., Professor Sanal Raj J., Head of the Department, delegates, teachers and dear friends. The webinar series with the thrust area, ELT, is in its third and final day. Dr. Soumya K.N., resource person of the final session of the webinar series, has spoken resourcefully on the scope of ELT and English language learning. She has opened avenues for further deliberations on the topic. On behalf of the delegates, organizing committee, and on my personal behalf, I extend a warm gratitude to Dr. Soumya K.N. Thank you very much. I would like to convey sincere gratitude to Head of the PG Department of English, Professor Dr. Sanal J, for guiding us all through. Now I extend hearty gratitude to delegates both national and international for their active participation. Thank you. I also extend my thanks to Ms. Anu Jain, Assistant Professor of the Department, for accomplishing her role beautifully. Hearty gratitude to all members of faculty and students of the department. I hereby declare that the 3-day national webinar series, Innovations in English Language Teaching, Trends and Practices, organized by the Postgraduate Department of English, Sahrdaya College of Advanced Studies, Kodagara, Kerala, has come to a grand close. Thank you all.
Thank you.